Okay, I got, this is my project for today. This Evinrude 115. This is a 1980 model. His symptoms are, he said, I believe him because, you know, he's really, he really takes care of his stuff. And so on this guy, he did a compression test, and I guess he was losing compression in the number 3 cylinder. So on this side, and he did, I guess he came and talked to me about it, and then he came back again, and then he was he said I guess he thought about it, and then he did another compression test, and he said that he saw water on that number 3 piston. So, you know, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm gonna do is change out the water pump for him, and maybe even our thermostats. I think we should, if we're doing the water pump, we should probably do the thermostats too. But we're gonna have to get this head off, and come off of there. I wish you don't want to come off easy. By the way, this is a Crossflow Flatback. That's what they call them. It's made from 1978 to, I think it was 1998. On this, guys, if you're replacing a head gasket, you're gonna remove basically just set these out of the way, your couple of coils, and you can just undo this, pop it off. Look at this. You do have a bottom water jacket, and it goes inside of our head. And I guess the big thing is if it's making its way into the piston. So how is it making its way into the piston? Is it making its way through here, or is it making its way through here? To take the 7/16 bolts off is always a little hairy, because if you break one of those bolts off, then you're pretty much done. So you got a chance. You can either replace the gasket that's back here first, and then see if that fixes it. If it doesn't fix it, or if this gasket looks really good, then you're gonna have to do this one. Mercury did this, Johnson Evinrude did this, Yamaha, they all did this. So they get these 7/16 bolts here, and if water was making it in to where that bolt was, then it's gonna be corroded, and it's gonna be really difficult to not break a bolt. Go real slow with it. Basically you get the head off, put it in a vise where you can just heat this thing up, but you don't want to heat it too bad because it's aluminum head. So I think the first thing is I want to pull this, this plug. It looks like he's just got it loose. Maybe he was just, Oh yeah, it's definitely got water on it. It's definitely got water on it. Because it's one of the 2 gaskets that are bad. And before I do a water pump, I think it's kind of important to just inspect this over really good, and then maybe quote him that price for these two first before we do a water pump. All right, so the first thing is we're going to take that hose off, and it's been off before because it should be one of these type of connectors. This one's been replaced, so we're going to take that off, and then we're going to take our coil packs off. Over here we got a heat That's for our heat alarm, and we just got to see what they've done here. Move the harness up out of the way, so we have to disconnect this probably. Nah. This can be fine. That's fine. Back like this. And honestly, like, none of this has to. This is all just gonna kind of move out of the way. No big deal. We do have a line. So there's one there. Boom. So I think this is just a 2-prong deal. Yeah, well, it can only go one way. 3/8. 3/8 on the side over here. Just cleaning some stuff out, and I found this old vegetable tray the other day. Whoa. Alright, well, there went that. Anyway, that's our coils. And, you know, we marked them, so now we know which one's 2, which one's 3. This one's going to be 1. That's your number 1 cylinder. The way the crankshaft is made inside here, this is going to be your number 2. And then it's going to rotate over here, and this is going to be number 3. Alright, number 1, number 2, 3, number 4. So that's how this is the firing order. Like on a 6-cylinder, it's just add 2 more cylinders. 1, number 3, number 5. This would be 2, 4, 6. So when people talk about these, you know, this would be a V4, this would be a V6. Same thing on Mercury's. Anything with a V motor, unless it's an L series or inline 6. You know, like Mercury had the inline 6s. And they were literally they were 6 cylinders in a row. The crankshaft had all these connections. And same thing in these, you know, it's got all these connections, piston rods, and that thing is made so that, you know, it's doing this. And that's what I know, but I keep saying it wrong. Alright, and then we gotta get this hose over here done, out of the way. Alright, so when you're doing this, just know that what you need to do really is get the bottom 2 bolts out first, because it's possible that if you can't get the 2 bottom bolts out, you're kind of screwed. Anyway, bottom 2 bolts, 1/2 inch. So it's going to be really tight. So yeah, that's right. You have to take this out of the way. We don't have to, but it's just a lot easier if you do. So the little housing cover you gotta get it off. There's a little latch. That's what I'm talking about. Should just come off of there. Yeah. Alright, so now that gives me more access to get here. One or two things. Either I can take a 1/2 inch and I can bang on it until it loosens up, or I can just take, you know, kind of like a hammering motion. So, hey, that's a good sign. And this other one on this side is a little harder, but you can get on there, sort of. Of course, this one's not where we can. You just got to make sure you get a good bite. Yeah, honestly, those weren't bad at all. But so now we can't really paint ourselves in a corner. So now that we got it broke loose, is use like a wobble. And since you're on a wobble, just go real slow, because you want the bolt kind of wobbling it too, you know. That's why I went to a 1/4 inch. Like with a 3/8 drive, you know, it could be not good. Problem is, like, you can't really get your hand down in there. And I know you guys can't see this, but you just gotta trust me. Yeah, they look a little rusty. We'll see. Probably really should do new head bolts. This is a Crossflow. By the way, this is a Crossflow Flatback. That's what they call them. It's made from 1978 to, I think it was 1998. And go slow with that. You don't want to wobble out your holes. Ignition deal. We could take our wire. It's going to go, yeah, this is going to be for a temperature probe. So we're going to have to do something with this. So I'm going to go in a pattern here. And, you know, I want to do this one, but I need an extension. And go slow with that, you don't want to wobble out your holes. That one I have water. So then we're going to go up to here. That one I had water. And that one had water. Alright, so that gets all of them off, and then we're just going to get a rubber hammer and knock it loose. If it doesn't want to just come loose. Oh yeah. Here's the damage. Oh yeah. Okay. There's our damage right there. So he made the right choice. Alright, here's the carnage. See it? So this gasket cover definitely needs to be replaced. And I can even see, like, there's bubbling here. You know, this didn't seal very good. Actually, that seal was probably okay, but it had some buildup. That carbon built up, and then this had, you know, luckily, I mean, he's got a lot of rust in here. That kind of helped clean it up some. Plus get any junk that's still on the rings off of it. You know, I just squirted that WD-40 in there, so that'll help it. But you kind of want to do this and inspect. So that's our full, and then this one, how does it look? It's not too bad. I'm kind of wondering if we shouldn't go ahead and inspect that side and just get two of them to match. I don't know. Things that make you go, So, pretty amazing that this is as old as it is. I get it all the way down there, but at least those ports look good. I mean, I don't see any evidence of, like, you know, we can definitely see where we had some carbon buildup here on this piston. And then on the bottom piston, and that's due from water intrusion. So this one, the bottom piston, looked terrible, but it does still have like some kind of residual rust. But yeah, just put some kind of WD-40, and then I got a little Scotch-Brite pad. I'm just gonna, you know, see if I can't get some of that rust out of there. You know, I'm not taking away any of the crosshatch. So if he'd let this sit any longer, like through the winter or something, it'd probably have been a dead engine. Well, I just talked to the customer and he wants to replace both head gaskets. Clean up the surface maybe a little bit. Yeah, I've got just a gasket scraper. You know, just try to be easy on it. Don't go crazy. Just make sure there's nothing really, you know, any old gasket material, whatever.